you're the only one there. You start to think maybe you showed up on Saturday by mistake, but you look around and you see customers are lining up outside. Hopefully, you're looking around, hoping to see some of your staff, but no, you are truly alone, and the doors are opening, and it's just you. Feels a little panicky, doesn't it? During my last visit here, I learned that most of you supervise employees. With that in mind, I'm here to walk you through the process of why losing your employees is a bad thing, and hopefully how to persuade you to implement some strategies to stop this from happening. My name is Kristen Osbaugh. I'm currently a customer service rep here with the City of Oceanside in the Business License Department. During my job, I've had the opportunity to speak with hundreds of business owners. I've attended several events at the Escondido Chamber of Commerce in support of small businesses, and I've written an article for the Escondido magazine. I'm currently studying to get my business administration degree with a focus on operations management. My future goal is to take a comprehensive look at all the businesses and the problems they face and work towards solving those problems and hopefully eliminating them. One of the biggest topics facing businesses today is employee retention. We have all heard the old cliche that people do not quit jobs, they quit managers. But is this true? To find out, I went to several popular employment sites, and this is what I found. We looked at LinkedIn. The responses reported were no advancement, lack of respect, feeling undervalued. Inside 6Q, under challenged, overworked, feeling undervalued. Forbes, feel not important, no respect, no one listens to me. Talentsmart.com, overworked, no recognition of contribution, and my employer doesn't care about their employees. If your goal is to get your employees to resign, do nothing. It will happen. Your business will suffer. Do nothing and you will get your top performing employees to resign. If your goal is to keep them, however, and in turn keep your business on the right track, how can you right the ship? To do this, I think we should look at why people stay at their current jobs. John P. Hausenbreck, an assistant professor of human resource studies with Cornell University, did just that. He created a survey of 25,000 employees and he asked them, why do you stay at your job? He heard the same answers over and over. Bob, why do you stay at your job? I love my job. Mary, why do you stay at your job? It pays better than any other place out there. Alice, why do you stay? My coworkers are fun-loving and goal-oriented. These are the results of his survey that he did. There are 9 other answers I didn't include because they are way down there on the list. So these are the top 3 that were by far reported the highest. The interesting thing to note about these graphs is it was consistent answers regardless of job level or job performance. So here you can see consistently reported from hourly all the way up to managerial and salary professions. And then by performance level from needs improvement all the way up to outstanding results, same answers still given. So these are the answers given by pretty much all the employees in the company. So what does this mean for us? What can we take away from this? I think we should look at Bob for a minute. Bob, why do you stay? I love my job. Isn't that what we all want to feel when we walk into the office Monday morning? I love my job. Isn't that what we want our employees to feel? This is seen in many different aspects of the day-to-day function of Bob's job. Does Bob have the appropriate workload? Is Bob being challenged appropriately? Does Bob feel respected? Is he listened to? Does he feel like the job he does is meaningful? Is Bob valued? As a manager, how can you create higher levels of job satisfaction? Well, the first thing you can do is engage. You need to be a part of and aware of what is happening within your sphere of influence. You need to act upon what you can act upon. Fix the overwork. Share the love. Challenge the under-challenged. You also need to listen. You need to give attention and time to what Bob has to say. Be an active listener, ask questions, and problem solve together. The next thing you can do, I find a really interesting concept. Whitney Johnson did a article for the Harvard Business Review, and in that article she suggests this leap, learn, and repeat. It's easy for management to think, man, Bob is so good at his job, no one will ever be able to replace him. I'm gonna leave him where he's at because it's easy for me. This will guarantee Bob's resignation. Johnson suggests that instead you grow your employees. You need your top performers to leap to a new position, learn it, master it, and then move on. This not only ensures you keep your top talent, but by keeping Bob challenged, you're ensuring he continues to perform at that same high level. Bob is not alone. 1 out of every 2 employees report staying at their job due to high job satisfaction. Moving on to Mary. Mary, why do you stay with your current employer? The city of Escondido pays better than any other city. The benefits here are ridiculous. Isn't this a good feeling? Don't we all want to work for the city of Escondido now? By paying competitive, Mary knows that she's valued. Imagine what this could do for your recruitment efforts. Not only are you keeping your highly trained staff, but you might be enticing some other staff from other cities to come over and change teams. If that's not the case, what can you do to create higher extrinsic benefits? One of the things you can do is you can inform yourself. What you need to do is you need to learn what other companies are paying for the positions that you offer, and make sure you are not paying the minimum rate. If money is tight, at least be competitive. As the saying goes, cheap is expensive in the end. Benjamin Gritten, in an article written for the Journal of Social Science Research, puts the cost of replacing an employee at 150% of that lost employee's yearly salary, meaning it costs way more to replace an employee than it does to pay them competitively in the first place. The second thing you can do is make employees incentivized. Give them a reason to stay. Pensions, 401ks, profit sharing, many of these do not mature for many years, or they require a buy-in of a minimum number of years of service before they activate. The more years of service, the greater the rewards. The last thing you can do is offer better benefit packages. Health, dental insurance, vacation days, flex time, tuition assistant programs. These are things that today's employees find high value in. Mary is not alone. Over 40% of employees say they stay due to the extrinsic benefits. Now let's look at Alice. Alice, why do you stay with your employer? The people I work with are like family to me. We spend the majority of our lives with our coworkers. Don't we want that to be a pleasant experience? So how does constituent attachment represent itself in your business? Well, by looking at Alice, is Alice surrounded by fun and friendly people? Does Alice have goal-oriented people around her to help motivate her? Does she get along with her boss? Is her manager a good role model? Is there loyalty amongst the staff? Do they feel like family? If that's not the case, what can you do as a manager to help them and to create these bonds? Well, the first thing you can do is create bonding experiences. You want to have company picnics, team building exercise, and you also want to deal with conflict quickly and without letting it fester. The next thing you want to do is promote from within. By creating management training and mentorship programs, you're showing your employees that you're interested in their success, so they become interested in yours. The last thing you can do is you can cross-train. By cross-training your employees, you build bonds by allowing them to share what they know with their fellow employees, and as they work together, those bonds are strengthened. The added benefit of cross-training is if you ever do have that workload problem, you can share the love by spreading it out. Alice is also not alone, as constituent attachment was answered by 1 out of every 3 employees as the reason they stay with their current employer. Now that we know a little bit about why people quit and why people stay, I want to offer this final closing thought. An employee doesn't wake up one day and decide to quit. The decision to move to a new company usually takes months. Months of dissatisfaction with workload, respect, benefits, or failure to form positive constituent attachments. That means you, as a manager, have many, many opportunities to right the ship. I urge you to implement some of the strategies I've spoken of, and I would love to hear of your future successes. Again, my name is Kristen Oswald.